All right, let's just jump right in. When you kick off any research project, there's one single sentence that carries pretty much all the weight. It's the launch pad, it's the foundation, it is the entire reason you're doing the study in the first place. We're talking, of course, about the problem statement, and getting it right is, well, it's everything.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the power of this one step. It's not just some formal introduction, right? It's a tool. It's the thing that guides your objectives, your methods, your entire investigation. A strong start here just makes everything else that follows so much smoother and more focused.
And that right there is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to know it's important, but it's a whole other thing to know how to actually build one that's solid, clear, and really compelling. So that's what we're going to do. Let's break it down and build one from the ground up.
I want you to think of it like a blueprint for a house. Before you even think about pouring the concrete, you need a precise plan, right? One that shows where every single component goes. Well, a problem statement is exactly that. It's the blueprint for your entire research project.
Okay, first things first, let's get our definitions straight so we're all on the same page. A problem statement is not some long, winding essay. Nope. It's short, it's sharp, and it's a super specific declaration of the exact issue you're setting out to investigate. When it comes to this, clarity is king.
So, what are the load-bearing walls of this blueprint? Well, every solid problem statement has to clearly identify four key elements. You've got the variables you're studying, the population or group you're focused on, the research setting, as in where this is all happening, and your overall research approach. Let's dig into each one.
The variables. These are really the heart and soul of your study. They are the concepts, the characteristics that you are actually going to measure or manipulate or observe. And they usually come in two main flavors.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have the independent variable. Think of this as the cause. It's the button you're pushing, the new nursing protocol you're trying out. And then on the other side, you have the dependent variable. That's the effect. It's the outcome you measure to see if your change actually had an impact, like, say, patient recovery times or their stress levels.
All right, so once you've figured out your what, those variables, you need your who and where. Your population is the specific group you're studying, so not just patients, but something more specific, like primipara mothers or elderly patients in urban areas. And the setting is the exact environment where your study takes place, maybe a specific hospital ward or even a corporate office.
Now here's the best part. You could actually fit all of these pieces into a handy little template. This formula is just a fantastic starting point. It forces you to plug in each of those core elements, which makes sure you haven't missed anything structurally essential.
And boom, here it is in action. This just shows how beautifully it all comes together. The mindfulness-based intervention, that's your cause, the independent variable. Reducing stress levels, that's the effect, the dependent variable. Employees, that's your population, and the corporate work environment is the setting. See? It's all there, packed into one clear, concise sentence. Okay, so you've got the blueprint, the structure is there, but having all the right parts is only step one. A statement can be structurally perfect and still be, well, a weak foundation. So now we need to make sure it's actually solid, and that's where our quality checklist comes in. These three words are absolutely crucial. They're the pillars of a great research problem. It's not just about being grammatically correct. It's about having a purpose that is meaningful, a question that can actually be answered, and a plan that you can realistically execute. Significance is what I like to call the so what test. You had to ask yourself, so what? Why does this research actually matter? A significant problem is one that addresses a real, genuine gap in our understanding. A gap that, if you fill it, could actually improve patient care or enhance nursing practice or just contribute something meaningful. This visual really helps me grasp it. The significance, that gap we were just talking about, it lives right here, in the space between the current, maybe imperfect reality, and the ideal state we're hoping to reach. Your research, it's the bridge you're trying to build between what is and what should be.
Okay, next up, it has to be researchable. And this is a big one. It means you can answer your question by collecting and analyzing data you can actually observe and measure. For example, a question like, should nurses join unions? That's a moral debate. It's not really researchable. But a question like, what is the impact of union membership on nurses' job satisfaction? Now that is something you can measure.
And last, but definitely not least, we have to be practical. Is your project actually feasible? I mean, really? Do you have enough time, the right equipment, the funding, the expertise, and maybe most importantly, can you get access to the people you need to study? An amazing idea that can't be executed is, at the end of the day, just an idea. So once you've built your statement and you've run it through that quality check, there's one final stylistic choice you get to make. How do you actually want to frame it? You've got two great options here. The declarative format is a direct statement of purpose. It sounds assertive, very clear. The interrogative format, on the other hand, poses the problem as a question. It can feel a little more engaging, more exploratory. Honestly, neither one is better than the other. It really just depends on the tone of your research.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground, haven't we? The blueprint, the quality check, the formatting. Let's just condense all of this into a simple, actionable roadmap that you can use to craft your own powerful problem statement.
Here it is, your three-step process. It's that simple. First, you assemble the structural parts using that blueprint template. Second, run it through the quality filter. Ask yourself, is it significant, researchable, and feasible? And then third, just pick the format that best suits your study. If you follow these steps, you are going to have a problem statement that is ready to launch your research. So I'll leave you with this question. You have the tools now, you've got the blueprint, so start thinking about your own practice, your own curiosity. What's the gap you see between what is and what should be that you and maybe only you are positioned to explore? Because that, right there, that's where your next great research project begins.